Never mind.
Do I have music? I do. That's awesome. Don't you start laughing. Today, wherever you are in the world, we're flying over Providence. It is late autumn, right on the Missouri-Kansas border. I am dressed for the occasion. The leaves have all fallen and blown away. Tree limbs are bare and bony. The sky is an eternal gray of slowly swirling clouds. It snows lightly from time to time, but the cold wind blows most of it away. As the sun sets, you can't see it, just the gray gets darker and darker until it finally goes black. Some local radios crackle, and you can hear Sunday night on the radio with Reverend Abernathy Page in the New Life Church. Brothers and sisters, I want to talk to you tonight about reaping what we sow. We're going to look at the book of Romans, but first, I want to thank all of you for your support, helping us put up this new tent. We're building that new church here in Providence. It is a glorious thing. But we're holding our services right here in this tent, and I'm glad that you all still come out. It is cold out here, but we've got the space heaters going. And it shows us what kind of a strong, believing community we have. Tomorrow is the wild game feed at Hutchinson's. Venison chili, fried rabbit, fried squirrel, turtle soup, just to name a few things that are going on, not to mention whatever Mother Jacobson brings, isn't that right? Our new church, that new apartment complex that's building up on the north side of town, all of these things can only mean one thing, that good things are coming. But I want to remind you, brothers and sisters, that when good things come, temptation comes with them. It's the temptation of men, you see, is what put Providence into the situation that it's been in. We've been going through some hard times. And here lately, it seems as though things have started to change. Prosperity seems right around the corner, but the farmers have lost most of their crops. And you know it, brothers and sisters, herds are coming up sick. And that's after they've had an unproductive spring. There are hardships out there, hidden behind new construction and money. It's about faith, brothers and sisters. They don't want you to believe in God anymore. They want you to rely on scientists and heretics, the creatures and creators of disease. Didn't want to do that. I just wanted to do that because the music was loud. Bear with me. Click, click, click. You saw the last of the corn crops fail just a few weeks ago, neighbors. I don't need to do naked yoga in the freezing cold mornings to know what's happening around here. God spoke to me, and I'm speaking to you. It says it in Romans, for all have sinned and all fall short of the glory of God. And God will repay each person according to what they have done. Just recently, our community suffered the death of poor Emma Hauser. And then just last week, that reporter that had just moved to town was murdered by those crazy meth heads that just have seemed to take up residence in one of the Hauser cellars. It's that sort of thing, brothers and sisters, that lets me know that this community is still hurting, still paying. Deputy Dan Clark's been missing. And I found out just yesterday that the cousin of that Samantha Quinn that was murdered just a week ago is also missing. We are paying the wages of our sins in the Heartland. I'm afraid it still may get worse before it gets better. God wants a reaping for providence. Let us pray. And with that, we cut to a little down the highway from where Providence is. Providence runs along this highway that runs up along the state line, as it were. And about 20 minutes south of Providence is this small community, John, called Stone's Corner. It's a crossroads. You can go to one of 4 different places depending on which way you're going, which way you turn, which way you're coming from. The path you're headed on is straight towards Providence. It's only about 20 minutes up the road, but you couldn't hold it anymore, so you had to stop at a little convenience store, a little gas station, so that you could relieve yourself. And it is cold outside. The sun has just gone down, and when you come out of the gas station, wrapping your coat around you, you notice that there is an old woman selling roses from this, it looks to be a brown van. It's starting to get dark. You can almost not even tell what color it is. It's got to be 20 years old at best. Rust holes around all of the fenders. The passenger side door is caved in from some accident, some ancient wreck, as the bent metal exposed from the cracked paint is thoroughly rusted. She's wrapped up in some old Carhartt coat, some farmer's jacket with ragged elbows torn and stuffing coming out. She has a scarf wrapped around her head. And it seems odd. She's just got this little rickety folding card table sort of thing and a folding chair set up right next to her van out there in the wind with a vase full of roses.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to her and check those cards and see what they are.
Check the what?
The cards.
Her cards? She didn't have any cards.
Oh, well, I misheard. I'm
No,
gonna walk
sorry.
up to her and
I said a card table. Oh, sorry. That's what
okay.
It's just a folding table, just a table with folding legs, just this rickety table. We call them
I
card tables.
understand. Okay, I understand.
I get it now. Okay, yeah, no cards, but she just got this little table with and a big vase of roses sitting on top of it.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to her and say hello.
Yeah, hello.
So you're selling roses here?
I am.
Okay.
Hey, you look like you need a rose.
Why do you think I need a rose?
I can't say really. It looks like you just need a rose.
Oh, how much? For a bucket of roses, say 12?
12? For you, I'll sell them very cheap as my day is over. I'll sell you the whole thing for $10.
The whole. How many roses
That's
does
a
he have?
bargain. I've got 24 roses.
24 roses. Well, I don't really have anybody to give the roses to. So I'm
Oh,
not sure.
I think maybe you do have somebody to give these roses to.
Okay.
I think I had a feeling in my knee. I thought it was the cold, but I believe it
Uh,
was you, and that's why I decided to stay a little bit longer. And now I see it. I think you
okay.
do have somebody to give these roses to. Maybe I should charge you $12.
Hmm. I had a feeling when I saw you here. Not about flowers or anything like that, but just a feeling. That's why I walk up to you. Uh, I'm gonna buy those roses. Sure. Do you know who I should give them to?
When you lean in close as you're looking to make this transaction, her skin is gray. She's almost kind of sickly looking. And her head, what you can see of it from around the edges of her scarf, her hair is thin and white. I don't know personally, but you are headed to Providence.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
yeah, I think the person you're looking for is in Providence. And her voice
Hmm.
starts to kind of trail off just a little bit, John. And you take in the full of her. Her body is thick and kind of squat. She was probably once a beautiful, voluptuous woman ages ago, centuries to her. And she starts to look kind of past you, and her eyes go milky, sort of just whiten over.
Oh, I
And she fumbles with the roses just a little bit, and with one of her old wrinkly hands, she reaches down into a pocket in her jacket and pulls out a little pouch. It's probably no bigger than this, just big enough to put a coin in. And holds it out to you.
I take the pouch and look at it and look at her. Is her eyes white?
Yeah, they're still white, and she's got just this little bit of drool that starts to come down from the corner of her mouth. And she goes, "The tattooed prophet.
What?
The tattooed prophet."
The tattooed prophet in Providence.
And then her eyes go normal, and she fumbles with the roses and starts to pull them up and wrap them in paper.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got these right here for you. I knew that they would find a home tonight. It's so wonderful. And that was $12 that we agreed upon, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. I hand her the $12 and take the roses, and I guess I'm gonna give these roses to some kind of prophet or something. I look at her, see her reaction.
She just kind of smiles at you like she probably didn't hear or understand what you said.
Okay.
Thank you very
Uh,
much. God bless. God
uh,
bless.
Thank you, thank you. Same, same. I walk away. I look over my shoulder a couple of times, and I walk to my car and I throw the roses in the passenger seat and I jump in and drive away.
As you're getting into your car and looking over your shoulder, she just gets up. She folds up her chair and starts to pack her stuff slowly into the van. And you drive off.
Yeah, muttering something about profits and roses.
Down the highway.
Yeah.
You have been drifting yourself across the United States for a little while now. Where do you typically spend your nights? If you've been crashing motels or...
Yeah, I have been at motels, but I also have a tent in my car and fishing equipment. It depends on the different locations where I am. I usually like to stay in the wild as much as I can and fish and just take it easy between jobs, between towns. But I usually stay at motels if there is any motels where I come.
As you get down the road a little ways, you will see some road signs. One, there is a new sign that's been put up. You can tell it's pretty recent, that is talking about a wild game feed in Providence, Mocan, which is interesting to you. It's the city. Usually most American cities are city, comma, followed by a state. This Providence, all of its references have Providence, comma, Mo/KAN. There's a wild game feed tomorrow. This is Sunday night as you're rolling into town, or rolling through town. This highway cuts right through town. You also see a sign for the next motel is just past Providence, but about a mile maybe, called the 10-Cent Motel. That's going to be the next nearest one. The next Happy Valentine's Day to Sabella. The next nearest is going to be an hour still beyond that.
Yeah, I'm gonna head into town and just drive around for a short while just to see how the town is, and then I'm gonna head to the motel.
It is a tiny town. It's probably 1 mile across, about a kilometer across, I suppose. Without, I'm rounding the differences between the two. You can see the map. I think I've got everybody on the map page, so you actually get a chance to see it. The people out there can't see it, but there's literally just a dozen maybe roads in this town. Very small. It's got some stuff that's happening there, but it is a small town. Used to supply a local farming community, much like neighborhood markets would back in early metropolitan areas, but out in the rural areas, small towns supplied the rural farmers that didn't want to drive an hour to the bigger cities. But those towns are dying now that highways have gotten faster and big farms have gotten bigger, and so this town has been hanging on. The roads are not in great shape. A lot of the houses are run down. Most of them have a car parked that is obviously not functioning. Weeds growing up around it. Mobile homes with tires on top. There's a school. There is, as you drive around, what appears to be a compound of maybe some white supremacists or something. There's a southern battle flag flying, and there's barbed wire. You can see a couple of guys with guns. It seems to be kind of locked down over at the edge of town. There's a municipal building. There's a local school, all grades, one school. There's a new construction happening on the north side of town. Nothing actually going up yet, just a large plot of land that's been dirt worked, been raised. You know that something's about to go down there. When you get into town, your radio picks up nothing except the local pastor preaching fire and brimstone on the radio, talking about the sins of man and how we have to pay for it here to reap the rewards in heaven.
As I hear that on the radio, I will just mutter something in Swedish under my breath, and I think I'll just head out and head to the motel to the north.
Excellent. Your night at the motel would be probably a story in and of itself. But just because I want to bring the others into this, we're going to start with Sabella because it is Sunday night. And luckily, Sabella has the ability to find music if she wants to listen to music, because she certainly can't pick it up on the radios. It's a local phenomenon that apparently the only radio station that can be picked up in this particular little couple mile area is Reverend Page. But Sabella, I can imagine on a Sunday night, you probably just chill out for a little while and then hit the hay, right?
Yeah. She doesn't really get out much. She just kind of hangs at home and just lounges around with her cat, maybe has some tea, maybe plays with her tarot cards, but
Ooh.
She's not a partier.
It's been about a week since you guys left the Hauser Wake. I'll just call it that. Hello, Steve. Happy Valentine's Day. So yeah, it's been about a week. You've had a little bit of time to digest that mentally and emotionally, but this is my long way to getting around to making you roll your nightmare disadvantage.
Roll my nightmare disadvantage. Okay. Also, what do you want to tell Curtis? Even
What?
say it.
Curtis.
Yeah.
He said yeah.
You said yeah? Okay, cool.
No, what do you want to say to him?
Oh. Curtis, if I wasn't with Krista, I'd be with you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Steve. I know. I love you too, Steve. I'm in this exact same boat.
He says he's in the exact same boat.
I am pining for Steve all the time.
Oh my god. What do I roll for this? Soul?
Actually it is a +0, so you just roll whatever. 2d10 or whatever you got a 0 modifier on will work.
An
Damn,
18.
you guys are on me. I tell you what. You sleep in peace.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then that's great. Then that's a smooth transition into and if you want to find out about John's night at the motel, that will be Patreon only content coming very soon. We will move to the next morning, but actually let's talk about Daisy. Daisy, I'm just to get a state of mind and to let the viewers get a bit of a refresher on Daisy. How's this week since that event been for you? As far as seeing things and that sort of stuff, it's been like calm. It's been like normal, dead in regards to that. But I'm just curious about what your state of mind is like.
Oh, she's fine.
Rock on, Daisy.
She
Of course she is.
laid low a couple of days after the incident, but she's back to her normal routine. A little more paranoid, but that might be the only difference. Like she does an extra circle around the town.
Right. Yeah,
But,
I was just about to ask, is it possible for Daisy to get any more paranoid?
I was back.
it is
About to
possible, and
ask you
she's keeping an
something.
eye on her dog, because if cattle and all that are getting injured and turning up mysteriously sick, and there's roadkill on the side, she's watching out.
Yeah, the roadkill's been kind of a thing, and the livestock, they've just been kind of like getting ill, like poisoned water or something. There's a lot of different rumors going around as to what it is. That's just the way it is in a small farming community anyways. Some people are blaming the government, some people are blaming industry, some people are blaming the wrath of God. So you never really know, but You also sleep in peace that night. And the next morning, as I told you before, I'm going to kind of force your hand a little bit, and you guys feel the urge to go to Wendell's and get yourself some coffee and catch up. Maybe it's a Monday morning thing. I'm not sure, but it's kind of, there's a little bit of excitement in this small community. This is kind of like one of the few times a year where you can actually still get that small hometown feel, of community where everybody kind of feels all right with each other, and we're all gonna, break bread in a biblical sense, and that sort of thing. So it is a bit of an exciting day. Wendell's is a little bit busy this morning early. If you guys got there 7-8 o'clock for the early morning crowd, if you're up to that sort of thing. But it is the beginning of the gossip mill is that morning, and so I am placing you two there.
I'll definitely go and listen to the gossip, but I rarely partake in it.
You like to stay quiet and grumpy, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like Daisy. Sabella, you want her there too, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sabella probably would have picked like the furthest seat away from anyone to just kind of lay low, and then if Daisy came over to join her, she would like scoot over a chair and have her hop up.
Right, which is kind of hard to do in Wendell's. It's a tiny place.
Yeah.
But you can make yourself feel comfortable there. You've been there many times, so you've got your spots picked out, as it were.
Definitely.
To the most beneficial to you. Just to give you the opportunity to catch up if you want, John, I will say that the proprietor of the 10-cent motel told you, if you asked, that the closest and best breakfast you're going to get is down at Wendell's Bait and Cafe in Providence, just back down the road about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna head there. I'm getting curious, as it says bait, as I think there might be some fishing baits or something there. So I'm gonna head there when I'm ready in the morning.
There is bait there. Yeah, if you asked, the motel clerk would have told you for sure that it actually is. They do cafe and they sell bait for the fishing. Super.
Sounds like paradise.
Yeah, so when you head there, it's mostly trucks parked around the outside of it. There is a little picture of it there on your map. You can kind of get an idea of this tiny little place. It seats like 15, jam-packed. It is not full by the time you get in there, but when you walk in, you see Wendell, the man who obviously is running the place. He's wearing an apron that is stained up with the cooking of the morning. He starts pretty early for some of the farmers, and it's deer season, so deer hunters come in very early in the morning this time of year. And he is delivering to the back corner table where Daisy and Sabella are sitting. What would Wendell be bringing you, ladies?
Wendell and I have a rapport. Same thing every day for Daisy. Black coffee, keep it coming. Like it's an omelet that's just like stacked with meats. It's like ham and bacon and sausage and cheese.
Right.
Sabella will probably have like coffee. She would put 2 cream, 2 sugar in it, but like not like too sweet, not too black. She would have some biscuits and gravy and like a fruit cup like you get at diners,
Right. Yeah, no, I do the fruit cups especially for you. Here, Isabella, here you go. It's your fruit cup. Black coffee. Here's an omelet. I got the last of my ham this morning, Daisy. Cut all the rest of it's in those green beans I'm going to have up there at Hutchinson's tonight. So here you go. Sir, you just sit over there in that other table. Make yourself at home or wherever, and I'll be with you in just a moment. Okay, here's your coffee. Yep. And now you're telling me there weren't meth heads that night?
Yes, that's what I said. I mean, Providence has no lack of meth heads in the area, but this wasn't quite what it was, Wendell. But that's an easier story, ain't it?
Well, I mean, you know, that's the rumors going around, and from what I understand, you guys and that tattooed fella, you were all down there with them. You guys, you ain't into that meth stuff. I mean, I know you're a little bit off kilter, Daisy, but I don't think you're not.
No, I'm not a meth head, Wendell. Thanks for
Wait,
asking.
how long have you known us? You think if we were on meth, you'd know it by now?
Well, I'm just saying it was a weird week. Weird stuff happening.
Are you on meth, Wendell? I ain't one to judge, but...
Of course not. I got my own set of problems, but there's plenty of the meth heads around. You'll see them tonight. They'll be coming out of the woodwork for free venison chili. I promise you that.
You're right.
Yeah, and tonight will probably be the same sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Religious fanatics, all of them.
So are you going to tell me how you got out of that goddamn thing, or am I going to have to just beat the rumor bush for another week?
Yeah. We're getting to it. Hold your horses. Well, I mean, Daisy set the whole thing on fire. You want to start there, or should we start at the beginning?
I mean, you got to build your barns more sturdy than that if you don't want someone to set it on fire. Jesus.
I mean, people don't just no, yeah, you're right.
Well, okay, Wendell. I have a feeling I'm going to be a storyteller here, and then you're going to tell the whole town. And I don't need that kind of attention on my back.
How long have you known me?
Long enough to know that Daisy's probably right.
So
you're a bit of a rumor mill.
All right. Well, you think about it for a second while I take this gentleman's order. Hey, welcome to the Cafe and Bait. You want some breakfast, coffee?
Yeah, black coffee, bacon and egg, extra bacon.
The Midwest special. Coming right up.
Thank you.
There is a woman, you locals know her as Sherry, in the back, cooking up breakfast. You can see her.
Sherry.
You can see her from time to time. Wendell is probably 39. Was a local hero. He's been here all of his life. The stories about Wendell are from when we were once good at football back in the day, and he's got just a little bit of a limp, and it looks like he's lived a life that you live when you grow up this way in Providence, but he's ran the Cafe and Bait for quite some time. Sherry's been there for about the last 7 years. You guys know that she's probably got a thing for Wendell, but for some reason he doesn't seem to be coming around. Local history. So he'll put in the order, and you two are sitting there, and I was kind of hoping Tanith was going to be there, but he's not.
I know. Come on, Tanith. Oh well.
That's all right. The story changes right before our very eyes.
Exactly.
Did I hear what they was talking about?
That sounds like you were wanting to perceive something. Isn't there a move for that?
Yeah, perception.
Yeah. Let's have a roll. Trying to keep it gamey a little bit.
He's gaming.
I could probably play KULT roll free if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
18.
You said 18?
Yes, you heard everything that they said. It's a very tiny place, and Wendell's kind of loud and doesn't hear very well, so... Plus, Daisy's kind of loud when she talks.
Mm-hmm. So here's the skinny of it, Wendell. Basically, we were invited. It was supposed to be, you know, just in and out real fast. You know, have a hog.
It wasn't even a good hog.
It was a little dry, I'll have to say. And, you know, some weird stuff happened. I was getting some bad vibes. And so we followed this, what's her name? What was the old lady's name? Ruth.
Ruth Hauser.
So we followed Ruth to the barn. And there was something happening. All right, what would you say? What was it, like a ritual of some sort?
Yeah, something like that.
I've heard lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were dirty.
I don't think it was dirty. I don't think it was.
Are you trying to suggest there was some kind of orgy happening? Because that wasn't quite it, Wendell.
Now, Daisy, I'm trying to suggest that
Get your
other
head
people.
out the gutter.
I'm trying to suggest, Daisy, God damn it, just listen for half a second. That other people are saying lots of different things, and that's one of the things I've heard said. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it wasn't like that.
Listen to everyone who wasn't there who has an opinion.
We had to get out of there, and you know.
Wendell, what would you do if you suddenly found yourself in a weird basement full of people chanting and coming at you with knives?
See, now what you're describing sounds to me like you'd stumbled upon a room full of crazy meth heads.
Okay, sure. Let's say they were meth heads. What would you do? We did what we thought we should do, and we got out of
I'd
there.
go get my shotgun out of the truck and
hot-wired a truck.
Exactly.
Fair.
We took care of it. Okay.
Well,
as far as the tennis guy,
I heard there
have you
were
heard from him?
burning bodies coming out of that building, and apparently nobody's even heard from Ruth Hauser since then.
Well,
I hope not.
Be kind of hard when she's 6 feet under.
No, I haven't seen that crazy tattooed bastard yet. I've expected him in here for coffee this morning, but it's too cold to be out doing naked yoga if you ask me, but he might be.
Froze himself to death out there.
He might be doing that on some pivoting on a frozen, what's it.
Mm-hmm. You know, he's got a weird thing for like young girls. You hear about that?
I have heard that. As a matter of fact, there was a girl in here asking about him just the other day.
What girl?
One of the local girls.
Daisy? I can't with him. I can't.
You might know her. Eve Browning. Well, I know you're probably too old. You don't remember. She just graduated just this last year. She just turned 18. So I don't know. She's out
last
looking.
name Browning. I probably knew her. I knew her family. Yes.
Out looking for trouble. Well, yeah. Well, she just got out of school, and apparently she's looking to get wrapped up in whatever he's wrapping people up in. And she was in here asking about him. So she may have already. That may be why he's not here. She may have already saw him out.
I don't even know where the crazy bastard is. He tried to. So we were there surrounded by the meth heads, as you like to call them. And Ruth met her unfortunate end. Very sad.
So sudden.
Thinks of himself as a prophet. He wanted to try to turn everyone to his side or something. He wanted to find these young girls and protect them. And we needed to get out of there. So
She knocked him out.
I cough when I hear prophet. And I almost choke on the bacon. And I take a big sip of the coffee and try to.
Daisy
Right.
goes silent and looks right at John.
Yeah, Isabella will probably like rubberneck, like,
Oh,
You right there, buddy?
Sorry.
You need a glass
Sorry.
of water?
yeah, please.
anyway, when Wendell gets back. So she knocks out Tanith right upside the head. I'm talking, she uses the butt of her gun and she knocks him out.
I was tired of his bullshit. Damn.
I mean, I know. I'm in the same boat. I think he's creepy.
I heard he got everybody fired up at the cave or whatever that thing
I wasn't
was.
about to let that happen again, and it was about to happen, so we
did what we had to do.
knocked him upside the head, dragged him out of the barn, set the shit on fire, and
Got the fuck out,
now
Wendell.
regular party around these parts.
God damn. I don't know about you, mister, but if you're a meth head, I wouldn't be hanging around no Daisy here. She'll kill you and then burn you and leave you lying in the gutter.
I didn't kill him. I took him out the barn. He's probably fine.
No, you just killed all them other people you left behind.
Well, I mean, gotta do what you gotta do.
I guess so.
Meth heads aren't exactly people.
Well, no, and apparently they've been getting stronger. I don't know what's going on. It's either them or the honkies out there, but you know, Deputy Clark ain't been around in a week.
Let's be honest here. When was he ever around anyway? He's never good at his job.
Well, that's neither here nor there, but I used to see him every other morning at least.
I mean, if getting coffee is part of a job, then he was an excellent police officer. Didn't do anything about the meth problem. Now look where we're at. You, sir, over there, corner, just choked on a bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah. What brings you to town? You're new.
Yeah, I'm just driving through, looking for work. You said something about a prophet. Who is that?
You trying to find the prophet?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, his name is Tanith. He lives in a tent or something on the outskirts of town.
Okay.
You'll probably find him out standing in his field, naked.
What? Naked?
If he's still alive. She takes a sip of coffee.
Okay. What father hamnar nu? You hear
What do
him
you
say
want?
something strange.
Excuse me? What'd you just call me?
No,
You
I
just met
didn't.
me. You don't need to be calling me slurs.
No, I didn't call you anything. I was just mumbling to myself. Nothing about you or anything. I was told to find the prophet here, but I'm not sure why. An old lady told me.
An old lady.
Yeah. I don't know anymore.
The Reverend, have you turned on the radio? Maybe they
No, I turned it off yesterday when I drove into town. Why?
Well, he fancies himself a prophet, but
Oh, maybe it's him.
a lot of people do around here.
They think their word is the word, if you know what I mean.
Oh, well, I don't want anything to do with those people. I like to keep to myself. This Tanith, where is he now? Do you know?
Not from around here, are you?
No. I'm not from here. I just came here yesterday.
Well, it's not a very big town. I'm sure if you do some digging, he might pop up somewhere.
Yeah.
Go hang out around the local high school, maybe.
Well, the local. Okay. Why?
He's probably going to show up at the game feed tonight. You got to be
Oh,
there. Everybody will be at the wild game feed.
Everyone will be there.
All
he's
the
probably
young,
got a few words for me.
he'll be there cruising chicks if nothing else.
Mm.
Oh, he's that kind of guy.
We
All
going
right.
to that, Daisy? Oh,
I'm pretty.
I don't know. I think we should. We should, get out of the house.
Gonna fraternize with the locals.
No, but it beats sitting around at home doing nothing.
I guess we'll see about it.
I don't know. I think it'd be good for you. I think it'd be good for you to get out.
Maybe. Anyway, stranger, you won't find much in the way of work around here. I think
Okay.
convenience stores hiring.
No, I'm looking for a farm work mostly.
Providence ain't a good place for farms right now.
Daisy, what are you talking about? The houses are hiring. They just lost half their goddamn staff.
Oh,
Well,
where's that?
Well, if you want a failing farm with crops that are always dying and cattle that's getting diseased and laying in the roads, sure. You got a green thumb? You think you can fix that?
Yeah, I'm more of a cattle guy.
Don't listen to her, buddy. Don't listen to her. She'll tell you aliens are camping out in her backyard. I'll write down the information for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a little hurt, Wendell.
Deputy Clark, I heard he's got a green thumb nowadays.
Daisy kicks you from under the table.
Isabella will just kind of quietly sip her coffee.
Yeah, Wendell will he'll jot down that information and bring it back with the check for the breakfast.
Thank you.
And there's a flyer here on the wall for the wild game feed tonight down at Hutchinson's. It's the local general store, grocery, dry goods, country store. We'll be having venison chili, and I think someone's bringing turtle soup. You ever had turtle soup?
Haven't lived till you had turtle soup.
It's pretty good on a cold night, I can tell you that. I'm looking forward to having some of that too. Of course, you can't beat venison chili, so that's a must-have. So yeah, if you want to
get some goddamn big ass alligator snapping turtles on the side of the road once in a while, that's where your turtle soup comes from, right there, to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he made.
A little rough on the stomach.
You gotta take the shell off first there, Daisy, but yeah.
I know how to make turtle soup.
She knows how to make all sorts of soup.
I'm just saying, with all the wildlife having the problems that they are, I'd watch yourself when you're eating something that's obviously taken off the side of the road with goddamn alligator snapping turtles. Everything's getting diseased, Wendell. You think I think it's aliens coming down to smite us? You think, oh, maybe the meth heads are running around injecting the wildlife? No, it's more than that, Wendell. It's not natural. I'd stay away from that turtle soup. I, myself, am bringing some jerky.
You haven't started drinking yet today, have you, Daisy?
It's early.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that early.
Well, Wendell maintains his friendly yet teasing demeanor as long as you guys want to stay and chat.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you the information about the Hauser Ranch, the directions. It's just this great big ranch up on the northeast side of town. And without, I'm kind of having to skip around a little bit because I've got a Tana section.
Sorry, Tana.
So, yeah, there's basically the whole day in front of you before the event that evening. You know, me and my KULT games, I always have to have some sort of event. Hey, this time it's a wild game feed. If you, John, were wanting to get work at the Hauser Ranch, if that was of interest to you, that was going to be a given. I had a couple of different options, but that was one of them. So if you wanted to take the day and go out there, we didn't necessarily have to role play that out, but there's out at the ranch you can see the obvious destruction of one of the outlying buildings has burned to the ground. There's several, still there's motorhomes and stuff that you see parked around. It seems like there's quite a few people at this. It's a rather big farming facility. If you could imagine such a thing. It's sprawled out over a very large area, big, huge barns, very large farming equipment. It's industrial type of a setup. And they have just about any position you could think imaginable. So that we'll just let you think on that for your, we'll throw it into your backstory, as it were, and we can talk about it. Is exactly how you would want to fit into that particular thing, because you may also find out about some other possibilities when you get to mingle with the locals tonight at the wild game feed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take the first work I find. I'm gonna check around.
Okay.
During the day.
Then we'll just say that they've given you several different opportunities to choose from.
Yeah.
And Sabella, you today get a bit higher than usual traffic at your bookstore. There seem to be tourists about. Nothing too incredible, other than they've mentioned that word is getting out about some of the weird stuff that's been happening here in Providence. Like asking, has there really been like a handful of people killed just in the last few days?
Who do you think I am? I'm not going to say anything. I mean, there's talk, small towns, they talk. Why? What do you want to know? Like, why do you want to know that?
Most of the people are just ignorant looky-loos. There is one gentleman who happens to come in, though, that gets your attention because he's pretty well dressed. He's the what you would call your stereotypical book nerd. He's got wearing a suit, a bow tie, short curly hair, probably about 50, 55 maybe. He's kind of old, so he's older than his. Yeah, he's got an old man curl going, and he is more inquiring about. Has anybody what I'm trying to get at is, has anybody started writing a book about what's going on here yet?
A book?
Oh, yes.
No one writes about Providence. Small town life.
There was a ritualistic serial murder but 10 days ago.
I mean, I wouldn't call it serial murder.
Wasn't there promise of another?
Well.
And then there was apparently human sacrifice and drug-induced euphoria at some ritual out at a local ranch.
Where are you getting this information from?
Oh, word gets out, my young lady.
Hmm. Well, weird things happen everywhere.
I'm interested in writing a book myself.
All right. Well, I mean, dig around and deep enough, you'll find something to write about.
Well, of course, that's obvious. Were you involved in any of the recent events?
And she'll just kind of like,
My name is Tim Binstall, by the way.
my name's Sabella. Nice to meet you. I would suggest your first place to look is the Hauser farm. That's where all the weird stuff's happening. That's where you'll find your scoop, sir.
Very interesting. Well, I thank you for that information, and he'll get whatever information about the Hausers that.
Yeah, I'll tell him where it is. I'll probably mention the feed tonight. Be like, if you really want to get to know the locals, you'll go to the wild game feed and you'll see firsthand how it all is.
Very nice. I appreciate the information. Thank you very, very much. It was wonderful speaking to you.
Of course. Nice to meet you.
When he turns to walk out, a gust of very cold air comes through the room. And I want you to roll. Just a
What?
+0. This is your involuntary medium.
Well, it's 5, so I think you can mess with me, Curtis. Yeah.
You have felt the sensation before. As your world freezes, you see things, you hear things, but your muscles are no longer yours. And if you try to speak, you don't say anything, and when you do speak, it's not you that speaks. Daisy, you get a phone call. And it's Sabella.
Normally she would let the phone ring for a stupid long time before picking it up, but she'll pick it up right away. Yeah.
I'm Sabella.
Okay. I was like, you gotta do this, Curtis.
Okay, so yellow.
Hey, another girl's gonna get killed, Daisy. Just like Emma.
All right. You got an idea when?
I believe it's gonna happen tonight.
Let me guess. At the event?
No. I think it's gonna happen after.
Does this
Right.
sound exactly like Sabella?
Yeah, can I get like any hint
Thank you.
that this is not?
Yes, you can make a perception roll.
I was just so willing to believe.
I know. You were like, yeah.
17.
Ooh, baby.
It sounds like Sabella, but it doesn't sound like Sabella. You don't hear Sabella's spirit. You know how it is when you talk to somebody. That's how you know if somebody's having a bad day. It's like you can sense their aura through their voice.
Yeah. And Daisy knows a thing or two about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go with it anyway.
So
All right.
you know something's amiss. One, why would she just call you up out of the blue with this information?
Mm-hmm.
And, usually if she has a nightmare or a vision, I'm sure she's got a habitual method in which she presents that stuff to you. Daisy had a vision, or however she starts. This is more first person.
And she knows I hate talking on the phone. All right.
It's that Quinn girl.
Is it now?
They got her.
Who got her? You?
What are
You
you
got
talking?
her, Sabella?
What are you talking about, Daisy?
Just a question. Who's got Quinn?
They're gonna cut her up.
Who? You're doing an awful lot of beating around the bush here.
I think it's gonna be me.
Yeah?
I think I'm gonna do it, Daisy. I think I'm gonna kill her.
You think Sabella is going to kill Quinn?
I gotta go. There's a customer.
You don't give two shits about your customers.
She hangs up the phone.
I'm calling her back up.
Sabella. The phone rings and it sort of wakes you out of your stupor. You know what you just told her, and you know that it was something cold that made you say those things. But you don't really see the angle. It's not like you don't think it was the killer or somebody associated with the killer. Didn't come from that sort of darkness. But your phone rings, and we live in a world of caller ID, so it's
Yeah, we
Daisy.
do. Daisy?
Did you just call me?
No, I did, but I didn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, Daisy. I don't know what happened. It was different. It wasn't. I don't want to kill anyone.
Well, whoever called me wants to.
Daisy, we gotta go to the event tonight.
I guess.
If we can stop what's happening, if we can,
Yeah, are you sure that you should be there though, if you're the one who's supposed to kill Quinn?
Well, if you're gonna be there, you're not gonna let me kill her, right?
I'm only gonna be there if you're gonna be there. I have no reason to be there around all those people. I don't like those people.
Daisy, we talked about this. You gotta get out of the house.
All right, so what do you think we should do?
I think we need to go there. We need to pack.
Okay.
Some serious weapons, and we need to take care of business again, Daisy.
She kind of like takes the phone away because she's got that landline phone that's connected by a cord, and she like takes a moment and just like rubs her forehead, and you just hear distant groaning.
I think Sabella is still a hair bit influenced from her Manhattan character.
Yeah.
Of now we're gonna A-team it up and everybody grab their M60s.
You're right. I am.
And their swords.
We just exploded. We just set fire to a whole barn. So it's not totally out of our character. We made sheriff soup. We're there, Curtis.
It was pretty brutal, and I know because it's Valentine's Day, you guys have got some plans. It was going to be kind of a short episode, so I think we're going to stop the story there. Peter, I'm glad we got you at least inserted into what we've got going on. I know we didn't get a whole lot of stuff done with you, but you did get a little creepy scene, and you guys have still got to meet the locals, and hopefully we'll have Tanith and Robert Butterwick with us. Yeah, when we have that'll make that a much better party to go to if everybody's there. So and plus I know Steve's chomping at the bit. I've been hearing him in the background saying it's time to go, not really.
I know, he keeps pouring me, look at this giant glass of wine he just poured.
Yeah, I know he's got Valentine's Day plans. So I want to thank all of you for coming out to play with us in this short episode tonight. We're not doing Long Strange Trip tonight because of Valentine's Day, but next week, the official KULT Friday, we'll do back-to-back Heartland, and then a couple hours after that we will do Long Strange Trip, and we'll see just how much KULT we can ingest in one night. And so that should be fun. We're going to go around the room real quick so that you guys can do whatever shout outs you want to shout out. And then, I made a end credit for us here too. So nobody has to hear me ramble on for minutes and minutes and minutes at the end of it. So, we will start with Sabella, get her out of the way before she gets through that next glass of wine.
I'm muted. There we go. Yes, hello. My name is Krista, and I play Sabella. You can find me on the Instagram at Priest of the Barista. You can now find me on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure that handle is just as long and stupid. You can also find my cat, Binks the Black Cat, on Instagram as well. I am so happy that Heartland is back. Sabella is a great character that I really want to flesh out. So hopefully we have a great new time, double feature Friday. And
I have big stuff planned, so I hope it all works out.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, we are glad to have you back. I love watching you guys, especially when the accents really start to get thick and heavy. And everybody starts to get really Midwesterny.
God, when Daisy gets going, Sabella gets going, and it's just.
I know. John was saying before we started the stream that people might have trouble understanding his accent, and I was like, he's probably not going to understand a word that we're saying because we're going to be speaking English, but it's going to be it'll be the worst kind of English that we will be into. So one of my heaviest drawlers in this game. Let's talk about segues. We'll bump up and go to Daisy.
Yes, hello. I am also very glad that Heartland is back. I wasn't ready to let go of Daisy. I just love how much of a hard ass she is. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and the Discord, which you should join, at Jahoy_matey. And then, of course, I'll also be in the Long Strange Trip. I wasn't able to make it last week because I had plans, but I'm very excited for people to meet Monet next week. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, and something bad happened to you. There's this thing when players don't show up for Curtis's games, terrible things happen to him. God only knows what's happened to Tanith other than being knocked upside the head. I like that.
Left outside of a burning barn.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you back, and Daisy as well. Did you do your social media shout-outs?
I did, yes.
Okay, sorry. I was multitasking. And obviously not listening. So then that leaves us with our newest member of the cast. I saved you for last, dear Peter. Welcome to the show. He became a fan of our KULT stuff and came on board and is writing stuff and creating stuff along with us and started supporting TTRP Theater and has become part of the team and has already proven himself invaluable to me. So I really appreciate it. And welcome to Heartland, John the Drifter.
Thank you. I'm Peter. I wasn't really prepared for being in this game, but I got to play, and it's great. I have been a GM for KULT since the first edition here in Sweden in '91, and I have played KULT maybe 1 or 2 times. So this is new to me, and I love to get the chance to do this with you guys. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all that shit, but I'm not sure. You can find me on Discord. That's the best way to find me. If you go to the Discord page and find me there, I'm on Discord all day, all night, every day.
Peter's always on Discord, and you've also you're in a band. You want to shout out your band, because I know that they've got some stuff out there.
Yeah, actually, I'm not playing in the band anymore. I'm on leave from music at the moment. But if you want to check out my old band, Atomic Love Reactor, it's a great Swedish band that plays 70s prog hard rock.
Yeah, which I'm into. So I fell right into it. I was like, oh, these guys are cool. I always like discovering something new, especially when it's old.
Just check out the Spotify page or something.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to the team. We love having you around. And if you didn't see it on Long Strange Trip, it's also on this one. You're in the credit reel for our KULT Divinity Lost rules consultant. So
yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Made me smile.
You helped me out in more ways than one. So thank you guys. You guys can go enjoy your February 14th, your Valentine's Day. Everybody out there, thank you for watching. And as I like to say, we want to say good night, sweet dreams, and we love you. And now I'll roll credits as soon as I figure out how to do this.
Good night, sweet dreams. We love you.
Say it.
We love you.
Oh, John says it.
Good. Good boy. He knows.
All right, so credits are playing. Oh, wait, I can still hear everybody's sound. Let's see. And they can hear me too.